Hello, I'm Bill Zujewski, CMO of Axeda Corporation. We provide software for managing connected machines, for managing machine data, and for implementing Internet of Things and M2M solutions. We call our solution the Machine Cloud, and our mantra is simple. It's to turn raw machine data into useful information. It's to unlock the value of machine data. So today I'm going to discuss the business case for M2M. What are the key metrics that you need to look at? And really I'm going to answer three questions. First of all, what is the value of M2M or machine-to-machine? What are the metrics you would use in a business case or ROI model? And then what returns can you expect from a M2M initiative or project? Okay, let's start here. What I've drawn on this whiteboard here is what we call at Axeda the value curve. The Axeda value curve with 6 levels of value. As you go up the curve, you'll see as I describe it, you get more value from the connected machine. If you start at level 1 here, it's really, you haven't done anything. You're not connected. As you move to level 2, you've connected. You're starting to pull machine data off and collect it for future use. And level 3, this is where the value really starts. Okay? This is where we start documenting what the metrics are that you'll expect to get in return for the investment. And really it falls into 2 buckets. So let me draw a little table here, ROI metrics. And we'll use this to list out all the ROI metrics you should be looking at. And they really fall into 2 buckets. Costs, right? How can I reduce my costs? How can I become more efficient? And then revenue. How can I grow sales, increase revenue? Okay? So level service, it's going to be mostly about reducing your costs, right? If you can remotely monitor and remotely service a piece of equipment, a machine, a connected asset, you won't have to go on site to repair it or to troubleshoot it, right? So one of the key ROI metrics, just lowering the number of repair visits. Okay, very straightforward. You probably have your handle around how many visits you do out to the various sites. You probably have your handle around how many of those can be done remotely, and you can count how many you can reduce. Another big one is first-time fix rate. If you can have information before you even arrive that tells you the problem, what you need for spare parts, or what the problem is, then your first-time fix rate will go down. Okay, will go up, I should say. And then call lengths. The last one is if you have a lot of information about the machine, about the connected asset, when the call starts, you should be able to reduce the length of that call and that whole troubleshooting process. On the revenue side, this all makes for good service and high customer satisfaction, right? This is going to drive your customer sat up. Customer sat drives revenue. Let's move on to level 4. Level 4 is all about taking that data and putting it into some BI environment, analytics environment, or even big data environment to gain some business insights from the data. And the big 2 things that I see going on here at level 4 are predictive maintenance, right? Instead of scheduling maintenance, use the data to understand what are the early indicators of failures, and then use those as a proactive way to go out and service those. So what we'll do here in terms of metrics is really count how many service visits can you reduce. If you're doing them every month to every quarter, and if you start moving to a proactive model because of predictive, you can reduce the number of service visits. The other thing I see happening is lowering of returns by understanding what things, analyzing the data to understand what's failing, right? What are your bad parts? What are your defects? A lot of that stuff, that usage, that behavior analysis you can do can improve product design. Product design will lower the number of returns, okay? The things on the revenue side, it's really going to be about driving uptime, right? The higher quality product you have, the more effective maintenance is, the more uptime you'll have, right? The lower the mean time between failure. Right? those will be the key metrics for level 4. Level 5 gets into data integration, where you're integrating with business processes and data into business systems that you already have. There's about a dozen examples here. I'm not going to get into all of them. I'm going to just pick out 4 real quick ones. An easy one especially for industrial equipment, factory equipment, is warranties. Okay, if you can monitor the usage, the operating environment, temperature, humidity, and really see if people are properly using the equipment and warn them if they're not, you can lower the number of warranty claims or false warranty claims. And the other big one is recalls. If you can get your arms around all the configurations and integrate it with your ERP systems, then you'll be able to more effectively decide what machines need to be recalled. Right? Those are 2 good ones for level 5. The ones on the revenue side, I'm going to pick two around pay-as-you-go billing. So if you integrate data usage reports with billing, you can, instead of buying the equipment, you can pay as you go. Right? So that's going to drive sales, because you're going to be able to sell to more customers who maybe wouldn't spend the money for your machine but are willing to pay monthly as you go. The other one is consumables. You can drive up your sales of consumables by, again, monitoring the levels of replenishments that go into a machine, whether it's ink, paper, detergents, reagents, whatever that machine consumes, having visibility into that, having business processes monitor that, and then have them easily purchase consumables will drive your consumable revenue. So that brings us to level 6. Level 6 is really about putting the machine data into the end user's hands. We sometimes refer to this as reinventing the product experience, right? They have maybe a smartphone or tablet application. The user of the machine can open that up, see the data, see this health, see the status, see some kind of reports, right? This is going to drive costs down in a couple of ways. First, the number of calls into the call center will come down, right? You're giving them a lot of self-service tools that allow them to figure out things, troubleshoot on their own. But the biggest win here is probably your sales. You're going to have a more competitive product. Your win ratio of the times you win versus your competitors is going to go up. That's going to drive your market share up. All right? That's going to drive up your average selling price as well, because you'll have some of these services you'll be able to charge for, right? So or you'll have a premium offer on top of your regular offer. So adding all these apps to your machine will allow you to essentially drive even more revenue. So to wrap up, let me wrap up with the 4 big things that you'll get, the 4 value buckets of return here. First one is going to be service. And here, what you're looking to do is really deliver world-class service. All right? All these things you're doing with monitoring and remotely diagnosing is going to improve your level of service. The next one, level 4, all that data is going to provide you very powerful business insights. Right? Better understanding of how your customers are using your product, which will lead to the returns we already talked about. Next one, integrating that data is going to allow you to improve your business processes. Right? Machine-to-machine solutions are not about reinventing the wheel. It's about doing things you already do, doing them better by having real-time data from the machines. And lastly here, with these value-added apps, you'll have a highly differentiated offering in the market, and you end up demoing and showing off a lot of times your apps versus just the machine because of how powerful those are. So in a nutshell, you can see here as you move up the value curve, there are ROI metrics to think about in each of these levels, and overall, you should find this as a nice framework to build a strong business case for all your M2M initiatives. Thank you very much.